I was like sparring this week, and I was like, damn, this is so much easier. Honestly, no joke. It's a lot easier. But I'm not saying the fight will be easy.
We've seen him over here against your old mate, Dillian Whyte.
He's not my mate. He's not my mate. What was the question?
How did you see that fight? A lot of people had it close. A lot of people edged towards Franklin.
Good fight. I don't really score fights. So I don't really have an interest in who won and who didn't win. I just knew I'm going to be fighting one of them. So I was just watching like how they fight and stuff like that.
Dillian, and again, not your mate, is claiming that you're fighting the easier of the opponents. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think he waffles a bit, to be fair. There's a lot to say. He's just focused on his own career, man. Focused on his own stuff. Like, that's just what I have to say about it. It just has a lot to say.
Well, speaking about focusing on your own career, you're with a new trainer, Derek James, the trainer of the...
So I was just watching like how they fight and stuff like that.
Dillian, and again, not your mate, is claiming that you're fighting the easier of the opponents. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think he waffles a bit, to be fair. He has a lot to say. He's just focused on his own career, man. Focused on his own stuff. Like, that's just what I have to say about it. It just has a lot to say.
Well, speaking about focusing on your own career, you're with a new...
What's good, family? It's your man, the YB. Back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Lenny C, for coming through and boosting up the coin. So we just heard there from your man's Anthony Buffua. This is... I'm sorry, man, but when I saw this one here, where was it? This guy is buff, ain't he? Look at that buff wannabe having ass arm. Big buff, super... Honest, I can't even do this with this guy, man. Yeah, now, I know people say YB boxing is not all about being buff. Yeah, we get that. But come on now. This guy's arm's like my head. And I've got a meathead as well. Look at the guy. Little Don was punching your Nelly in the field. What's going on here? There's something wrong. Something's not right. I don't care about all this cliche or boxing's not about size. Listen. Yeah? Look at Dubois. Dubois, no chin. But still, big, strong bull. Yeah? And that's one thing I do like about Dubois. Yes, he doesn't have the best chin. And whatever else. But guess what? He will come and he will throw leather. Yeah? Do you understand? If that makes sense. Like, Dubois, he turn up and he does exactly what he says on the tin. Big dopey buff wannabe ass. Well, listen, we don't these big buff dudes, yeah, we ain't paying you. We ain't paying to watch you try and use this. Yeah? There's a reason you man are Goliaths. We ain't listen, ain't no one paying a pay-per-view to try and watch Goliath turn into David. We want to see you go in there and be big and buff. Do what it says on the tin. Leave the thinking to someone else. Leave the thinking to Usyk for what it's worth. Yeah? So again, yes, Dubois doesn't have the best chin. Yes, he doesn't have the best heart. But full due respect to the guy, he will go in there and he'll throw his hands until he can't anymore. Do you know what I mean? For the most part. He doesn't go in there and think, oh, let me try and run around the ring and nick a fight on points. He does, let's be real now. Even when he got popped the other weekend, he got popped on the side of his Nelly and then he came back to fight again. It's not as if, the wheels could have completely fallen off, couldn't they? In that fight, I forgot the guy he fought, but in that fight, the wheels could, Dubois' wheels could have completely fell off and just melted away. But he took a round or two and he was back on it. Yeah? You'd have thought, for example, AJ in that same situation Dubois was in would have thought, oh, let's just take it 12 rounds. But Dubois, he took a round to get back, innit? He took a round to get back right, and then he blew the dude's back out. Now, even if people say, myself included, oh, he was paid off, whatever else, the fact of the matter is, paid off or not, Dubois wouldn't have known that. If you get what I'm saying. And Dubois took a round off and then came straight back on it. After having the worst round in his career, out of nowhere, no one expected it, so he would have been shocked himself. After having the worst round in his career, a round later, he back on it, trying to blow the guy's back out. That's what we expect for big, buff, burly dons. This AJ guy, look at the equivalent is, I know it's not the same type of fighter, but look at AJ versus Ruiz 1. AJ gets popped on the side of his head, and, most people, obviously, no one, after it, well, tell a lie, I was about to say no one expected AJ to win after being popped on the side of the head, but really, that's what was missing for me. See how Dubois came back now, with all due respect. The guy Dubois was fighting, Andy Ruiz, he will throw hands. The other guy, I don't know what, Kevin Lorraine, I don't know where they found him at. But the point is, I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe Dubois, if Dubois was in there and got put down by Andy Ruiz, I think he'd come and have another go. I think he would. He'll go out on his, not go out on his back, but I don't think Dubois is smart enough to think about self-preservation, if you get what I mean. I don't think Dubois is thinking, oh, if I throw my hand really hard, this guy might hit me back. You know, I don't think he's got to that level. Maybe I'm wrong, but I reckon Dubois will go in there and set about. Now, maybe it's too early to say actually, because this is actually the first time Dubois had problems. I guess we won't know now, because let's not forget AJ was a wrecking ball until he got put down by Vlad. That made him a little bit dodgy, and then the Ruiz fight broke him. So in all fairness, this was the first time Dubois went down. So maybe I'm speaking too early. Either way, I don't know why I spent so much time talking about Dubois. I mean, I've digressed here. End of the day, man, this guy's buff, 100%. Big buff dude. Anyway, the point of this video was supposed to be, I'm sorry, but I just got mesmerised by this dude's arms. I thought, this guy's got a head arm. Big, round, but full looking arm. Do you know what I mean? I can't, it's one of them ones for me. Just buff. I can't get my head around that. Let's not forget, these men were billed as the new heavyweights, the new breed, the new super duper juiced breed, essentially. Yeah, because even when you look at Lennox, he didn't have, you know what I mean? He wasn't full like that. AJ's got all the chest, he got all the back, he got all the biceps, and he got things for days. And he goes in there, the new upgraded to heavyweights weren't 255 lean mass before. That's just what it is, people. Heavyweights of old were not 250 pound of lean mass. They just weren't. Lennox was like a little bit soft, and you know what I mean? It hasn't gone down like this. And they come along, and Little Don jumps in there and has a go on him. Like, it don't make no sense. I'm sorry, it don't make no sense. Anyway, back to the point. This video, Dillian Whyte. And I can't lie to you. Now, there's a lot of things going on with AJ. I ain't going to sit here and tell you it's all rosy or it's not all rosy. But for a minute, until I heard the rest of it, for a minute, I felt this wave of inspiration come through me. Yeah, when AJ said, what did he say? That guy's a muppet. And there was a little bit in there. And then, seconds later, it's almost like the zest just came. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could just feel this. There was something about it. I thought, ooh. Yeah? I thought, ooh. That turned me on a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way AJ was speaking. And then, a whole wave of zest just drowned it out. Let me replay it. And I'll do the play-by-play of what I'm thinking at the time.
It's here nor there because you're not living that. He's not my mate. Right, so I don't really have an interest in who won and who didn't win. I just knew I'm going to be fighting one of them. So I was just watching like how they fight and stuff like that.
Dillian, and again, not your mate, is claiming that you're fighting the easier of the opponents. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think he waffles a bit, to be fair. He has a lot to say.
So this bit here, so you can see AJ's face. His face screwed up, and he's like, this guy's just, you know what I mean? That bit turned me on. This guy, like, who this corny sounding ass dude? Do you know what I'm saying? There was that snare in it, and I was liking it. Let's replay it again.
Fighting the easier of the opponents. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think he waffles a bit, to be fair. He has a lot to say. He's just focused on his own career, man. Focused on his own stuff.
And this is where you can see, so again, this felt not of, I guess you could call it AJ of old. AJ of old, he wasn't a man of many words, but every now and then something would irritate him, and you'd know about it. And that's when people would say, well, YB, he's the politician outside of the ring, but he can turn it on in the ring. And that's what kept people going all that time. We never saw it. We never saw outright displays of, you know what I mean, of that ferociousness. But there was something in his personality which said, don't mess with this guy. And you can see a little bit of it there. Just like, rightfully so. Like, who is this guy Dillian? Dillian, you have no chops. Do you know what I mean? Who is Dillian, Mr. Udder Nipples? Big Udder, soft-looking dude, ain't he? Let's be real now. Dillian, you're soft, you got no chin, and you got a fake yardman chin. Bottom line, fake yardman. Yeah? Take your fake yardman chin somewhere else. I know I'm trying to hear that one. Dillian, you're not a yard man. A yard man wouldn't be on his back with his twist-up ankle by Tyson Fury. Simple as that, I'm telling you now. There's not one yard man who could get his ankle twist up by Tyson Fury. That's just what it is. Yeah? If your ankle gets twist up by Tyson Fury, you ain't a yard man. So just cut all that out. We ain't trying to hear that one from you no more. Yeah? Go sit down somewhere. But my point is, back to AJ. And this is what gets me. This is what makes me worried that AJ is completely finished, because he was just these 10 seconds. We've heard years of moistness from AJ. There's been nothing direct really. When you man tell me, when was the last time AJ was direct? I guess you could say after the Usyk second loss, and he directly threw the guy's belts out of the ring. But that in itself was fake, because you had 12 rounds to show how irritated you were. You only got angry, yeah, when the fight was over, and you couldn't, you know what I mean? That don't count. So there's, you know what I mean, like that energy, that real raw energy. When have we seen it? You haven't. That's the bottom line. You haven't seen it in the ring. You haven't seen it out of the ring. Now this little bit here, this little snippet, this felt my real dar, yeah. Never mind radar. My real dar had an amber light. I'm not going to say it went full green. Yeah, it wasn't full green gully man mode, but it was amber. It's like, let's listen to the amber gully man mode.
Your mate is claiming that you're fighting the easier of the opponents. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think he waffles a bit. To be fair, he has a lot to say. He's just focused on his own career, man. Focused on his own stuff. Like.
And then this bit here, so he has that amber light gully man mode. Yeah, amber gully man mode. He was just getting there. I believe at this point there should have been a little bit more of, listen, Dillian, I don't know what you think this is. You big bulbous udder nipples wannabe fake yard man, have an ass dude. Yeah, I will punch you up differently. Yeah, I've heard you just had a new you. You 100%. I'll send you back to your newborn you. All different. We get all different head top. 100%. These kind of bars. That's what was supposed to be coming next. But then, yeah, just before we went from amber gully man mode, we was meant to get the full green, just letting it all out. I then start seeing his eyebrows perk up. I thought, oh no. No. We're going backwards. No. You was on the right lines there. This guy waffles. You know what I mean? There was something there. Something half real about him was there. Tell us what you think. I mean, so many times throughout these interviews, someone said to him, what do you think about the Usyk and Fury fight? I don't really give my opinion on boxing. Like, where did they find this guy at? Big fence there. He just sits on the fence. There's nothing in it. It's just really odd. I'm telling you, man, honestly. If someone told me this guy's a clone, I'd say, yeah, it makes sense. Something's just not right with this guy. Anytime it's something, again, this bit here is perfect for me. Dillian, he said you took the easier of the fights. Yeah, listen, Dillian, you want to focus on how Mr. Pillar Fist hit you with one punch, and not only did it knock you spark out, it twists your ankle up. You worry about that. Yeah, I'll worry about my career, and you worry about how your ankle got twisted up by Pillar Fist Fury, who couldn't do nothing with Derek Chisora. Yeah, you've got Tyson Fury 50-50 Derek Chisora problems. I'll worry about my career, you worry about your own moody chops, fake yardman chops. Yeah, those are the bars he could have. That's what's supposed to come. That's what was coming next. And then, like I said, I see my man's eyebrows. So we were nearly there. Yeah, we was amber gully man mode. Amber nearly had the full thing. He was just about to let go, and then this wave of just moistness. Now play it. I'll let you man appreciate the full moistness now. Here we go.
So I was watching like how they fight and stuff like that.
Dillian, and again, not your mate, is claiming that you're fighting the easier of the opponents. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think he waffles a bit. To be fair, he has a lot to say. He's just focused on his own career, man. Focused on his own stuff. Like that's just what I have to say about it. It just has a lot to say.
Well, speaking about focusing on your own career, you with a new trainer?
Yeah. It's just like that's just what I have to say about it. It just has a lot to say.
Well, speaking.
That's just what I have to say about it. It just has a lot to say.
Well, speaking about.
That's just what I have to say about it. It just has a lot to say.
Well, speaking about focusing on your own.
That's just what I have to say about it. It just has a lot to say.
Well, speaking about.
It's like he's nervous to say it. Like he don't want to say no more. Oh, that's it even sounded a little bit zesty. I don't know. He was there. I'm not going to, again, I'm not saying, oh, this was 100% Rago, but I'm saying there was something in it I could feel a little bit about. I could feel it, I ain't going to lie to you. When he screwed his face up and said, Dillian, this guy just loves to waffle. He loves to waffle and worry about other people's business. Yeah? He needs to, my man needs to shut them kind of bars. Those are the things that were supposed to follow. Instead, that's how I feel. All the eyebrows and he backs off and he opens himself up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I do know. The guy's zesty, bottom line. That's what came through. The zest. Too powerful. Right there we watched a battle between Golly and Zest. And the Zest just drowned it out. This is the fight game. It's not the Zest game. Yeah, we've seen AJ doing the whole runways and whatever else. You know what I mean? That's my man giving the runway opinion. Oh, well, that's just my opinion. And, oh, sister, you talk too much, sister. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones. You should have looked in the camera and said, Dillian, shut your mouth. Yeah? Again, before I send your head top back to your babe mums looking all different. Because you will get punched up differently, my man, 100%. Do you know what I mean? These kind of bars. Where's it at? Is this not the heavyweight? Not only is it the heavyweight boxing game, this is the new generation heavyweight boxing game. The 260 pounders. And let's be real now. That's the narrative. The narrative is this is the new heavyweight boxing era. They're bigger and buffer than ever. And we got bigger and buffer than ever dudes with these, that's how I feel, and smiling, and eyebrows are going, and now people can, I'm sure there's mans out there, YB, you reading too much into this. I'm just saying, why couldn't AJ just finish off what he started? Dillian, shut your mouth, 100%, because you ain't gonna do nothing. I'm the boss man. Yeah, out here whining on the Sun newspaper about how you want to be paid some more. You sit down and you wait, because you're a side man to me, 100%. Yeah, you're a cornball, whining side man. And you know what I do with side man. You sit on the side until I'm ready to have a quick go on you, 100%. Yeah? And if I choose to, listen, you might get a fight in the next few years. If not, you can just sit on the sideline, whining to the Sun newspaper. I'll let you know when you're up for me to have a go on you. Yeah, simple bars, simple, super duper simple with it. Instead, and again, what he said wasn't wrong, but it was a way he couldn't just send one message, could he? It wasn't a straight message. Dillian talks too much. He needs to focus on his own career. That he could have ended it there, but then it's almost like he had to walk it back. Dillian, this is what he did. Dillian, he talked too much. He needs to focus on his own career. No chin have an ass. But, that's just what I think. Other people can think other things. It's like, what? You know what I mean? Imagine me saying, not imagine, we just saw it there. AJ said, Dillian talked too much. Dillian needs to focus on his own no chin have an ass career. But, that's just how I feel. Other people will have other opinions. Do you know what I mean? That's what happened. He was doing the right thing, and then he had to cornball it off. Yeah, 100%. Definition of cornballing something off. Big cornball came on the screen. You not see it? If you look carefully, no doubt about it, if you look carefully, just after AJ finished saying what he was saying, a big dusty cornball went across the screen. Killed the vibe. Again, it's as if he's scared to put something out there. Dillian, I will punch you up differently. That's it. There's no doubt about it. You'll get sent back to your baby mums different. You don't want this one. Yeah? You're a side man. So stand aside and keep waffling on to the Sun newspaper about how bad the main man doing you. That's what's happening right now, Dillian. What's happening right now is you're on the side, and the main man, me, you're waiting to get a little piece. Yeah? You're a side ting. Monday to Friday I'm with the missus, and on the weekend I may or may not pop by to have a go on you. That's what side tings do. Dillian, you're a weekend ting. You're not a Monday to Friday ting. You're a ting, I fit in once a month, 2 times a month, quick press, and I'm on. Yeah? That's what you are. Know your place. You're not the wifey. You're not. You're the side ting. Yeah? That's all I have to say. Dillian, you're a side ting, but, that's how he might as well not said nothing. That's how I feel now. He just killed it all off. Yeah? And he started off by saying, well, Dillian's not my friend. That was a bit corny, but I thought, alright, allow it. Do you know what I'm saying? Dillian's not my mate. Alright. But to say that would have been fun. I wouldn't even mention the whole Dillian's my mate thing, not my mate thing, if he'd have finished it off properly, but it's like he half went there, and then half got nervous. It's almost as if he's questioning himself. He's questioning his authority. I remember, and this really was probably the peak of AJ, but I remember AJ versus Jerome Miller. And AJ sat there and said, I'm the landlord. I'll pay your babe mum's rent. He was dropping bars, and that was the pinnacle, really. We never saw any more. That was the peak of AJ's alpha dominance, and we haven't seen it anywhere since. And I get it that this obviously now AJ's been pressed by a whole bag of man. So it's, you know what I mean? It's how can you be dominant when some little Ukrainian Donny just run up all upside your back? Do you know what I'm saying? I get that one. You know what I mean? So, but still, that's why I've said, certain man need to retire. Now I don't know. Has Derek James worked some magic? I hope so. I'd love nothing more, than AJ to come back, and I've been saying that from the start. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not a fangirl. Just because I want something to happen, don't mean I'm going to tell you it's going to happen. I'll tell you the truth. The truth is, this guy's finished, until I see otherwise. That's how I feel. And these little things, like the fact he's questioning, that tells me there's still issues there. Now, again, there's some good things I've heard. AJ said, listen, Derek James is a great trainer, but I have to be willing to do the things he's telling me to do. And I've known that I've been known that. We've been known that. It's about, that's why people say YB, it's a trainer's fault. Or AJ said, it's a trainer's fault. They didn't tell me I was losing. Like, come on now. Every fighter knows they're losing or not. You know what I mean? And if you're not sure, knock the guy out, innit? It's a stupid question. I didn't know I was losing. Or, wait a minute. The heavyweight champion of the world didn't know he was losing, and you're in the 12th round with a midget. The whole point of heavyweight boxing is knockouts. For me, if I'm training a heavyweight, really, if I'm training any fighter, but if I'm training a heavyweight, particularly a buff one at that, I'm going to tell him, listen, take it as, just assume, if your big burly looking ass is in the ring with some dude, and you're in round 11, just assume you're losing. Because the game is about getting the guy out of there, do you understand? The game's not about going in there and stretching it out for 16 rounds and boring everyone to tears. So you must know there's something not going quite right. Wait a minute. Everyone else I've been in there with have been knocked out. This guy got me on the ropes, hanging on for dear life. You know what I mean? But anyway, what I'm saying is, there's been some good signs. We don't know how good Derek's going to be. All I'm saying is, it'd have been great. And the fact, again, he went there. Do you understand? The reason I'm talking about this is because he went there. He went down the line of, Dillian's not my mate. Dillian talk too much. Dillian, settle yourself. He went there. And since he went there, and then bumbled it at the end, it tells me he's still indecisive. I was hoping maybe the process will change, but that's why I said the guy should really retire. I don't think he got that in him. That authority that says, I'm the boss man. We just haven't seen it, people. Even the Usyk rematch, he was following the leader. And I'm talking about in the fight as well. Well, now, whatever you want to talk about, during the fight, before the fight, AJ was waiting for Usyk to set the pace. Never did he say, I'm the bull, yeah, and I'm having a go on this guy. This guy going to fight to my pace. This guy going to dance to my pace. And with really, even Chisora, when Chisora fought Usyk fans can say what they want. Go back and watch Usyk versus Chisora. Usyk was fighting to Chisora's pace. He was running around the ring for dear life. Now, Usyk fans say, well, that's because Usyk was unfit. I don't know, whatever you want to say. All I know is, yeah, Usyk was running to Chisora's pace. AJ goes in there, and AJ's playing follow the leader. He didn't want to be first. He didn't want to set the pace. And again, now, he's putting little bits out there, and then walking it back. He doesn't want to say something. He doesn't want to put himself out there. I.e. Dillian, again. I'll punch you up differently. There's nothing more simple I can say. Dillian, if you keep running your mouth, you're going to get punched up. It's going to end bad for you, super duper bad. Yeah, because if you think a twist ankle and a bust jaw was bad against Fury, Mr. Pillarfist, you don't want this one. Yeah, trust me, Dillian. Yeah, the way Tyson Fury left you with your ankle all twist up was silly looking on the floor. You don't want this one. Yeah, that's what you don't want. That's what's not good for your health. Leave it there. That's what I got. That's how I feel about Dillian. Not, well, we're all different and we're all human and, different. Just what, I don't know, maybe you man can watch and tell us one last time. Let's just watch this again.
Maybe fighting one of them. So I was just watching like how they fight and stuff like that.
Dillian, and again, not your mate, is claiming that you're fighting the easier of the opponents. What are your thoughts on that?
I just think he waffles a bit, to be fair. He has a lot to say. He's just focused on his own career, man. Focused on his own stuff. Like, that's just what I have to say about it. It just has a lot to say.
Well, speaking about focusing on...
Yeah. Pick your lane. For me, AJ, he comes across as... You know how like Eubank Senior or Nigel Benn, and most of them retired for old timers, yeah? When they talk about the new generation, they're often quite neutral. You never see them really, for the most part, come out and they kind of keep themselves out of the current fighter's business, the current era's business. That's how AJ comes across to me. It's almost as if he's retired. Oh, I don't want to rock the boat too much. Yeah, Dillian's a bit nosy, but you know what I mean? You're an active fighter. These guys are food, should be food to you. Different types. Yeah? If you want some fake Yardman curry, you know who it is, 100%. You got Dillian Whyte for the fake Yardman curry. Yeah? You got whoever else you want for someone else. You got Tyson Fury, the fake bare knuckle, whatever their man eat. The fake bare knuckle hair. You know what I mean? All the different type of food. That's how it should be. Not Mr. Politician. And we're still playing the politician game. Kofi Annan wannabe ass, dude. Anyway. We'll see. But it's not looking good. My prescription. This guy, just speak plainly. Just speak plainly. And it's almost like, be yourself. And I think that's the problem, you see. I think AJ in general, especially now after money, I think AJ is just a nice guy, bottom line. That's what it comes down to, people. I think AJ is an easygoing, nice guy. I think the aggressiveness we saw at the start of his career probably was bred. We all want money, but once you get to that point, is what's driving you forward? If it's not this lust for ferociousness, then I think we see what AJ... Look at how AJ went out in his last few fights. We know that he doesn't have that lust, and this really isn't no... This, for me, is just confirmation of that. We've been known that. You can't even... Dillian Whyte's supposed to be one of his next up-and-coming ops, and he can't even tell us how he feels in that situation without having to walk it back. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let off the bell 100%.